Hey, my name is Virginia and welcome to my YouTube channel. This week I decided to do a phone detox. If you don't know what that is, it's basically where you get rid of your phone, put it away for 3 full days, you don't touch it, you don't use it. I also decided to add no TV in there. I wanted to do this simply because I found myself getting stuck scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, you name it, for hours, like wasting my life away. And it's just like we're creatures of habit, so I was stuck in this habit, this routine of constantly checking my phone, constantly being on my phone. You know, I'm half paying attention to my baby, half being on my phone, half doing work. As much as people like to say we're multitaskers, I don't think we're multitaskers. I'm not a good multitasker. So I wanted to just kind of refresh, restart, clean slate, kind of work on breaking this habit, and just focus and be in the present moment, and see if it really is a big difference living with my phone versus without my phone. So this was kind of a fun experiment I wanted to try, and I thought I would make a video kind of explaining my experience with it and if it really was that big of a deal or not. And then maybe you guys will want to try it too after. So I did 3 days, no phone, no TV, but I did allow myself to use my computer simply because social media is a big part of my job. I'm an online health and fitness coach. So to completely exile it for 3 days was not a good idea. Okay, so it is day 1 of 3 of my phone cleanse, and it's only about 1 p.m., but I thought I'd give a little update. And it's hard. It's really weird not having my phone. It is making me more productive though, and you know, my mind can 100% focus on things, which is really nice. It's hard, and I feel very disconnected from the world, but it's a good thing. I had to go to a different city, didn't know where I was going, so I used my car's GPS. Okay, so a little update. It's still day 1 of my phone cleanse. It's a little bit later in the day. I'm heading out now. I'm going to this, it's like a baby store. It's called Snugglebugs. It's in a different city, and I don't really know how to get there. But my car actually has a built-in GPS, which I've never used before. I always use Apple Maps. So far, so good. And hopefully this GPS gets me there. I'll keep you updated. Oh, I don't know if I finished this story. Out there, did my shopping. I was like, it's such a beautiful day. We don't have a lot of these in Canada. I want to go to the lake, you know, go to the park, watch the view, spend time outside. So I get there, and a bird attacks my head. That doesn't happen to anyone. A bird literally landed on my head and was like, and then flew off. I got attacked by a bird. The bird attacked my head. Day 2 came along. Okay, update time. It is, I don't know, 10:30 or something a.m. So far so good. Day 2. Haven't used my phone at all. Haven't touched it. Haven't looked at it or anything. Max is a little bit cranky, so normally when he's cranky I throw on SpongeBob on Netflix, but since I'm doing no TV I couldn't do that. So that forced me to wear him while I did some vacuuming. I have Disney playing in the background because who doesn't love Disney? But so I'm wearing Max while I'm vacuuming. Vacuuming is hard as it is. It's really hard when you have a 15-pound baby on you. I've been a lot more productive today than I normally am, and I'm focusing so much better, which is amazing. And I feel like I'm also just, I want to say in a better mood, but I mean I'm happy a lot of the time. It's a different kind of better mood. Oh, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just more focused, more zen, I guess you could say. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I feel good. I was super successful. I didn't touch my phone at all during day 2. I left it plugged in downstairs from the night before, and it stayed there until day 3. Day 2 was tricky because I was meeting Mark at Toys R Us in a different city, not a specific time, which is why it was hard. But I didn't have my phone, and then he was like waiting for me there, I guess. So it was really interesting trying to meet up with someone without having my phone. I had to walk through the whole toy store like 2 times to find him. Last horse was falling off as a donkey. I know. The horses don't want to be donkey, right? And then day 3 came along. Hi. Hey guys, so it's been a hot minute since I updated you. It's day 3, last day of my phone cleanse, and I cheated. So I did cheat a little bit. I put on baby Einsteins for this little guy here so I could take a little nap, which was really well worth it. So I want to talk about just a bit about like my experiences and what I have realized by doing this experiment. So for one, by not texting everyone every moment of the day, anytime anything happened, I had a lot more to talk about in person, which was really awesome because you spend so much time talking to someone throughout the day as your day's going, that when you're with them in person, you have nothing else to talk about because you've talked about it already. If I wasn't using my phone, then I could sit there and be very present in the conversation and give them all of my attention and energy. The downside to that is you have to remember everything that happened during your day. I have a horrible memory, so trying to remember everything that happened during the day to talk about was challenging. One thing I found very interesting, so I normally wear a watch, but the battery died a month ago and I just haven't gotten around to replacing it yet. So I use my phone as a clock like most people today do. I mean, my stove and stuff and my computer have the time on it, but I just wasn't checking that. So during the days, I had no sense of time, especially when I was out without my phone. No sense of time, which was really an interesting experience, especially when it came to meals and food and stuff. And this could be a whole other topic, but how we're so preconditioned to eat at a specific time, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is why we have problems with overeating, undereating, is because we're conditioned to not eat intuitively. Even from a baby stage, you give your baby a feeding schedule, and from that point on, they're conditioned to not know when they're hungry or know when they're full. Yeah, I found myself getting hungry and being thinking in my brain oh, I wonder what time it is. Is it lunchtime yet? Am I allowed to eat? Which is stupid. You should eat when you're hungry. Pictures. When you have a baby, you're taking pictures of them 24/7. Or at least I am, because he's so cute. But without my phone and the camera on my phone, I couldn't do that. So I had to really be in the moment and be oh, this is adorable, I need a picture, let me go run and grab my camera. So I found pictures were less spammy pictures, and now these pictures have meaning and purpose for existing. I found myself living much more in the present, in the now, if you will. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I suggest the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I think his name is. You have so much brain noise going on. We're so conditioned to have all this brain noise going on. Focusing about the present, the past, what's happening online. and you're not 100% in the now, in the present tense. You aren't just being, you aren't just living. And so I found myself a lot more, you know, in a meditative state, enjoying life. Like if you look at a baby, they're not thinking about anything. They're just living. They're like, ooh, toy. Let me play with this toy. Let me focus on this toy, and that's it. So I found myself, you know, living that way a lot more, which was really fun. I found myself connecting with Max a lot more on a deeper level. Because, you know, when I'm feeding him, it's just me and him, no TV, no cell phone to distract me. It was just me and him, so I'm focusing on him. When we were playing, it was like me 100% being there with him playing. So that was really, really fantastic and great to be able to connect with him on a deeper level, for me anyways. And I think he kind of noticed a difference too, that I was more present with him. So I was watching a video a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, and this person, they quoted something, said something, and I'm not going to quote this exactly because I don't know the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, phones are used to suppress emotions, which I found so interesting. Like, you know, when you see someone standing there and they pull out their phone and start scrolling, they're suppressing an emotion, whether it just be boredom or sadness or anxiety, like anxiousness, whatever. It's used to suppress an emotion. If you really think about it, it is so true. So without being able to pull my phone out and like suppress whatever emotion I was feeling, again, whether it just be boredness, that's an emotion. Boredness is not a word. Boredom, it is so true. You just have to feel that emotion and work through it and live it. So you connect with yourself and your internal self and your emotions a lot more without a cell phone. Comfort. Phones are a huge comfort thing. The whole time I was like out without my phone, I felt very anxious because I knew when I was at my house, if I like needed to send a message, I could hop on my computer and send a message, send an email, whatever. But when I was out without anything, it was very like, ooh. It's definitely helped. It's been an eye-opening experience living without my phone. Very good for my work life, my spirituality, my mentality, just my overall happiness, I guess. I feel a lot more happy and connected with myself, with the world, with the people around me. It did make me realize, like, I already kind of knew this before, but my biggest pet peeve ever, when you go out with friends or your partner or whoever, you go out to dinner, you go out to lunch, you just are hanging out, and the person is on their phone the whole time, especially at dinner. I find that so incredibly rude to be on your phone at dinner, and it just, it irks me so hard. I really noticed when other people were on their phones and how often people are on their phones. I really noticed that. People are on their phones so much, and I find it's toxic. I mean, phones, don't get me wrong, I definitely realize that phones have their time and place, especially in today's society. We need our phones. They're very beneficial, but at the same time, we really have to figure out a balance and find when it's appropriate to use our phone and when it isn't. And is it really like necessary that you have to drop everything that's going on in the present moment to answer an email, to text a person back? No, like that email is still going to be there in an hour when you're done doing what you're doing. That person can wait to find out if that meme they sent you was funny. Like, I don't know. I feel like we spend so much of our time in the digital world that we don't spend enough time in the real world, and that's something I think that needs to change. Something that contributes to people's stress, anxiety, depression, mental state. Like, just being 3 days without my phone was so transforming mentally. But if you can, I recommend trying it. I suggest trying it. It's hard. It's a challenge. It's fun. It's a great learning experience. I tried to make my thoughts as cohesive as possible, but I don't know if it worked. Hopefully it did. Hopefully this video makes sense. Hopefully it interests you. Hopefully you give it a try. Hopefully you like and subscribe. Because I'm gonna keep making videos. I think it's fun. I love video editing. I feel kind of silly sitting here talking to a camera, but especially talking about how bad technology is. But I really do. It's a great creative outlet, and I want to bring, you know, workouts, food tips, nutrition. As I am a fitness and nutrition coach, I want to bring that to this platform and hopefully spread some knowledge here. And yeah, we'll see what comes out in the future. So stick around and find out. Thanks for watching. Bye.